I have to read a statement to you. I have to read it to every hearing. After I'm done reading the statement, I'll hand the case over to case manager Belinda Algeen. She'll get your names and spellings. After that, we'll get started with the hearing, and I'll check in at that point, or at the point when Belinda takes over to see if we have Mr. Angelo on the line. So, good morning. Welcome to the Philadelphia Fair Housing Commission. Again, my name is Ali DiMediris. I'm the attorney for the Fair Housing Commissioners. Also present today from the Fair Housing Commission staff is Belinda Algeen, who's your case manager. And you'll also see Miss Monica Gonzalez, who runs our Zoom hearings for us. Before the hearing, I'm required to go over a few things with you. First, you're being recorded. We record all our hearings. By remaining on the line and participating in the hearing, you are consenting to be recorded. Our Zoom hearings have the same force and effect as if we were in person. The only difference is on Zoom, we do not have a court reporter. In the event either party wants to appeal a final order of this commission, you can reach out to me or the case manager, Ms. Algeen, and we will provide you with a copy of the video recording. Please be mindful of what you're saying and doing because it is being recorded. Second, at 9 o'clock this morning, the commissioners and myself, the attorney, met in a private executive session to discuss today's cases. We do that every hearing day with every case. Third, the parties had the opportunity to submit documents. I have the submitted documents saved on my computer and can share them with everyone on the screen. Please keep in mind that the commission generally only reviews the very basic documents in a case prior to a hearing. If you would like a document reviewed by the commission, please reference it by name, date, or description so that I can post it on the screen for everyone to look at the same time. Lastly, during the course of today's hearing, it might be necessary for the commissioners to speak privately to make decisions in this matter. If they need to do that, they're going to invite you to join separate rooms divided by party called breakout rooms. A prompt will come on your screen at the appropriate moment asking you if you would like to join a breakout room. We will direct you to click join when you see that prompt. Once in the breakout room, please remain in the room. We will never end a hearing when you are in a separate room. Please make sure you're back in this main room and that a commissioner or staff member dismisses you before you log off or hang up. Thank you very much for listening. With that, I'm going to hand the case over to Miss Belinda. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. This is the matter of Dante McCullum versus PB Harley QOF LLC and Calle San Francisco LLC. The Fair Housing Docket number is 2024-11-13-19145, and this is the first Fair Housing hearing. At this time, beginning with the tenant, if you can please state and spell your first and last name, and please speak slowly and clearly for the record.
It's Dante McCollum, first name D-A-N-T-E, last name is McCullum, M-C-C-O-L-L-U-M.
Thank you. And landlords, if you could please state and spell your first and last name, and please speak slowly and clearly for the record.
Sure, I will go first. My name is Piyush Bhardwaj, spelled as P-I-Y-U-S-H, last name B-H-A-R-D-W-A-J.
Thank you. Ms. Mohammed?
Yes. So myself, it's Nargis Mohammed, N-A-R-G-I-S, Mohammed, M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D. So I'm also from the landlord's team.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to swear in the parties.
I'm sorry, Belinda. There looks like there's another person who logged in named Dinsley. Can the person who's here is Dinsley please unmute themselves and let me know who I'm speaking to? So that's Dinsley, D-I-N-S-L-E-Y. If you can hear me, I cannot hear you. So I need you to unmute yourself, please. It might be Angelo. I think that might be who we're trying to get to log on.
Yeah, it's Densley who's going to join in. So he's from the contractors team, the head of the contractor.
Okay. I just need him to, is his name Angelo Dinsley?
So it's Densley. So
Dinsley,
my
okay.
name, so it's not Angelo, it's actually, I could change my name.
I'll change it for you.
Yeah, sure. I'll change it.
I've got it. I was just about to do it. Okay. So again, the person who's here is Dinsley. If you could please unmute yourself. All right, let me send them a message.
Perfect. Hey, Densley, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Howard.
Densley, can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you for joining and making time for us. I know you're on site.
Okay, so I just need the person whose name, who's on here is Dinsley. Can you please, state and spell your first and last name for me?
Is Dinsley, D-I-N-S-L-E-Y. Last name Rodriguez, R-O-D-R-I-G-U-E-Z.
Thank you. Are you able to turn your camera on, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
If you're able to do, oh, I see you. Okay, go ahead, Belinda. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. At this time, I'd like to swear the parties in. Can both tenants and landlords please raise your right hand? Right. Do you swear or affirm to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that everyone?
Yes.
Thank you. The commission has 3 rules for today's hearing. First, do not speak over or interrupt each other, and do not speak over or interrupt the commissioners. Each party will have an opportunity to give testimony and present evidence. Second, please do not use generic phrases such as he said and she said. Please use tenant stated or landlord stated or Mr. McCollum stated. This will keep the record clear. And third, when referring to a date, please give the complete date, including the year. For example, please state the date as July 4th, 2024. Do not just use in July or last year or just in 2024. The commissioners present today are Commissioner Baez, Commissioner Butler, and Commissioner Sang. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Can all the parties hear me?
Yes.
Great. So the procedure for this morning's hearing would be as follows. The tenant, given that the tenant brought this case before for housing, will have the opportunity to present their evidence first, and then the landlord is going to have an opportunity to rebut that testimony. Mr. McCollum, you filed this complaint with Fair Housing on November 19th, 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in your Fair Housing complaint, the allegation was you are making the allegation that your landlord has retaliated against you for reporting repairs to the property and then also ending the lease with open L&I violations.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please state for the record the property address?
1414 West Pacific Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19140.
Okay. And when did you move to this property?
We moved in a property back in February.
Of what year?
The February of 2020, last year. I have the date right here.
2024.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
And are you
2023.
still
Yeah.
living at the property?
Yes, at the moment. But they were not renewing the lease, and we wasn't gonna
So are
continue.
you currently residing at the property? Are you living there right now?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the monthly rent?
The monthly rent agreement was $12.50 a month, and when I pay it, it comes out to $13.06 plus because they add a $56 water bill to it.
Okay. And when was the last time that rent was paid to the landlord?
I have the date right here. Because I actually did pay it late. I have it right here on the rent app. Yeah, it was paid on the 10th, January 10th, 2025.
Okay. And what was the amount that you paid? Full rent?
With the late fee, the amount came to $14.31.
Okay. And when you first moved into the property, did you receive a certificate of renter suitability?
When I first moved into the property, when I first moved in, no, it was a couple of days after. I have it in my email. When
So
I
you
was sent.
you received it a couple of days after moving in, but you've received it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, received it. Yes, I did receive it. Yes.
Just so that we can know for our records, when did you receive that document?
All right. I say, okay, my email.
While Dante finds that, is it going to be okay if we ask
Here we go.
Densley, who is
I
on
have-
site,
I have
to
it right.
shut his camera and be on mute? Would that be okay?
I have it right here.
Yes, he can put his camera off and be on mute. That's okay.
Hey, Densley, you want to shut your camera? I know you're working, and put your camera on mute, and we'll call you if need be. Or you could at least shut your camera if you want, and just
That's what I'm trying to do, but it's my first time using this.
no
I don't
worries.
know.
Or just leave it on. That's fine. But whatever's easier, no problem.
All right, just give me, let me
Right,
get off
this
my
is-
truck.
Okay,
Okay,
just so that we
perfect.
continue with the hearing, so there's a form
I
being
might just speak.
shown on, it's dated the March 4th, 2024. Is that the document that you received, Mr. McCollum?
Yes, I have that document.
great.
He said for the lead, it say a lead certificate. Is that the one?
Did you also receive a lead safe certificate?
Yes, yes, and that came at 5:15.
Okay,
Yes, 5/15/2024.
okay. There's no security deposit, allegation in this complaint at this time. Has there been a period where you've been withholding rent from the landlord?
No, I wasn't. No, not holding rent. The only thing it was late was this month.
Okay, so there's no outstanding rent from your perspective?
No, no outstanding. I have the history of every payment that came out of my account since we've been there.
Okay, so then if we can just go to the heart of your complaint, as I stated earlier, you basically are alleging that your landlord is retaliating against you for making repairs,
Yes,
and ending the lease with open L&I violations.
yes,
Just for the record, there was an L&I violation report. That report was opened in October of 2024, and it was closed on December 16th, 2024.
yes.
Okay. Just so that I can move this hearing along. When did your landlord send you a letter that he was ending the lease, or she was ending the lease?
They sent us, but that they was ending the lease. That recently just came about this month. But when they got the L&I report, they sent us a letter stating we had to move out, which is in November, and I have that document also, because that's how this came about. Because we was uninsured,
So
they said that
when
we
you
had to.
filed this complaint, it was based on the letter, the November 12th letter that's being shown on the screen. Is that correct?
Yes, let me open my screen up. Yes, that's the letter right there. Yes, they sent us that letter after they got the violation.
Okay, so that is the letter that we're here to discuss. Okay,
For
Yes,
the record, there's two letters, Commissioner. We also have the second one, 1 second, sorry. The second one on the screen is from December 31st, 2024.
okay, so we have the November letter, and then we also have the December 31st, 2024 letters. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about exactly why you believe that it's in retaliation?
because I mean, I have the text message because when I sent him about the repairs, he sent me a text message and then he actually blocked my number and he was saying,
So
if
let's
you
just
don't
go,
stop,
Mr. McCollum, let's just start initially with, when did you report the repairs to your landlord specifically?
it started the right at the date after I moved in, and I'm looking at because I have the picture. It was February 27 when I started taking pictures of the windows, starting right here. I mean, I don't know how to show you guys or send it to you, but it started February. I have it right. We give you the exact date right here. because I have the pictures and the dates. All right. I remember you taking my, here we go. The first picture is a February 27th, 2024 is when I first started taking pictures of the windows. There's two pictures of the windows. And then starting with this, the next was the stove. I mean, and this another date. March 3rd was a socket in the bathroom. That was another repair I started sending. March 3rd, 2024, 7:16 a.m. That's when I took the picture. And then March 5th, 2024, I sent 3 pictures of the stove being like the knob's not working. The inside of the stove is like it's like dirty and it's mice infested.
So what was the initial response from your landlord when you were asking for repairs to your unit?
I sent them on the app and they kept saying they was going to have somebody come out, We're going to take care of the stove. We're going to take care of the problems. And it was like a long period of time.
Okay, so when was the initial, when did the landlord actually send someone to come in and take a look at the repairs that you
All right.
were asking to make?
I have it for you because it's on it. It's right here on the app. All right. I'm trying to find the exact date. I know it was months later. I have it right here. Sorry, I apologize. It's because it's like 5 different landlord numbers I have. So so the only repair that I recently that they even came and did when I put that complaint in was a cabinet. I'm going to the text message now because the windows, those same windows, is still in the property now.
Okay.
So give me 1 second. I apologize. It's like I said, it's a lot of people I had to talk to get some help. That's why it's like I'm all over the place. Here we go. Here go another number for it.
Are the issues currently resolved in the unit, the repairs that you were
No,
requesting?
no, that's why if I can say it to you, the repairs is like cabinet doors. The stove is still in there. The stove is still in there. The cabinet is still hanging off and everything. The major repair, they didn't take care of. Like I said, I told them about the windows and stuff that wasn't it. The issue, the real major repair came about is when we and my family was inside of the cold. And
Okay.
when we told them about the heat, like I said, none of the other stuff was actually didn't get taken care of. And I'm an honest person. When they get closer to the end of the month, they goes on the app and to complete,
Well, Mr.
complete,
McCollum,
complete.
just so that we're clear on this, we're gonna be looking at repairs that affect the habitability of your residency, of your tenancy. So for that, we're really looking at the issues that are cited on LNR. I'm sorry, LNR.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was the heat. That was the heat and everything.
So those issues have been complied with as of December 16th, 2024.
Yes, that's why I was saying. That's the day I was trying to stay on. I thought you were saying from when did I first started making repair complaints. It started when I first moved in. But the LNI complaint came from the no heat. I have that right here.
Okay.
The no heat started October 19th, right? That's in October 19th. It still was no heat. And then they said they fixed it, which would have been October, like the 21st, in our order, they put completed October 22, 2024. I went back on the app and put the flames went back out October 22, 2024. They went back on there October 22nd and put that it was fixed. The same here go October 22nd, 2024, 6:16. I stated to them water not getting hot because of the boiler. And October 25th, it still was no hot water because I have it right here. October 25th, 2024, no hot water. And so they didn't get anyone to come out until I'm trying to go to when they didn't get nobody to come out and fix the heat, which was inside of November. I have it right here in the text messages.
So how long were you without heat?
About 2 weeks.
Okay, and can you just those dates, you said you have them with you there. Can you please state them?
Yes, I'll give it to you right. I'm going to the messages right now. All right, here we go. Starting the dates. There we go. I have all the pictures. All right. All right. October. And so we go back. It actually, we was out of heat prior before that. Friday, October 18th at 7-Eleven. I, Dante McCollum, text the landlord, which I
So we
don't
just
know
need
his
the
name.
dates, sir. We just need the dates at
Oh,
this.
October 18th. October 18th. Good morning. Nothing changed. Even worse. I already have one sick kid. Please make sure they come out today. October 18th, 9:02. I guess Mr. Pucci sent me a voice message stating that it was fixed, and I'm just now seeing your messages. So,
Just
and that's
give us the date that it was fixed.
all right. The date that it was fixed would have been. Give me 1 second.
Commissioner Butler,
Is that?
for
I know it's
for clarity, we're just gonna go with the date that LNI is listing on.
It's no. It was in no. It was at. It got fixed around in November. I apologize. I had an exact date because there's so many like text messages like with the landlords and
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next issue, which is the notice to vacate. You did receive a letter in December where your landlord's basically asking you no longer to renew the lease, and the landlord in it is stating that they're selling the property.
yes.
Okay. Prior to that, were you offered a lease renewal?
Yes, I was prior to that. Yes, I was offered 2 lease renewals. I had 2 lease renewals and then a non-lease renewal. And that's when I actually reached out to Fair Housing because I was actually confused on that because we had got 2 offers and then it was like a non-offer.
And did you accept the lease renewal when they offered it to you?
No.
Okay. Is there something specific that you want the Fair Housing to consider before we move on
No.
to the landlord?
No, actually, like I said, everything just came from like the no heat, and then as soon as they got the violation, that's when they sent us like to vacate the property, and not staying. You said stay in names, Mr. Pucci. I feel like I was aggravating him and bothering him by so many, saying like so many repairs, which I understand. But my thing is, I didn't want to get blamed then for nothing down the line when it's time to go to move out. So I feel like every little thing I seen and I know as I point out to him, he didn't like that. And that's how everything came about. And then that's when, he, like you said, he made the allegation. If you don't stop, texting me, I'm going to, go to higher department and get a lawyer against you and all that.
We'll come back to you. So are there any commissioners that have questions of the tenant this time?
No questions.
Okay, so we'll move on to the landlord. Before you give testimony or a response to the testimony that the tenant has provided, I will ask you about, currently, is there a license to rent for this property?
Yes, we do have license for this property, and it's an active rental license. We also had got a renewal done recently.
And you heard the testimony from the tenant regarding the delivering of the CRS and the
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I would like to say that an email request was already sent to the tenant as soon as they moved in. So I can present you an email that was shared to the person, sent over to both the tenants. And also, I would like to first of all bring a point in front is that there are the lease has been executed between two tenants right now. So the person present is only one tenant. We would request that the second tenant is also being asked to join this call. Because it's very important that she's also present on this call, as this lease was executed between the two people.
Okay, so the second tenant did receive the link. I don't believe she made herself present for this, and we are not requiring that she be here in this matter at this time.
Okay. So this letter was sent on March 4th. So the lease was executed on February 29th, and they started moving in on March 3rd. That's when this letter has been sent over. So March 4th falls on a Monday. So this, because of which there was a delay of 2 days for not sending this welcome letter, which included my certificate of rent suitability. So the let certificate was already signed along with the lease execution document. So if I just
Right, so the issue of the let safe certificate, I believe that there's no disagreement that has been provided.
Okay.
s-
Okay.
Is there a
Okay.
disagreement with that among the parties that has been given?
mhm.
I thought it was stated in the complaint. It wasn't, so we're just going through the complaint.
No,
You
I
tell
believe
us,
that the
sir.
tenant did acknowledge that he received them both, so that is not an issue in
Yes,
dispute.
I acknowledge. Yes, I said I received them both. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
He just asked me what date did I receive it.
Okay. Yeah. So we have sent it over to him, and then the other
So
thing which
the only thing that's in dispute, just so that I can clarify and you understand exactly what the argument here is here today, is that the tenant is alleging that because he made requests for repairs, the letters of non-renewal or asking him to vacate were sent.
Is
so
it, would you like us to address that? Is that the specific issue? And
That's
sir,
one of the issues, but then we also learned that a letter for renew to extend the lease was again sent again.
yes, that's correct.
So currently here today, the latest letter that was sent to the tenants was basically in December of 2024, stating that you would not renew the lease.
Yeah, would you like me to address you by sir or Juan? Is there a preference?
Sir, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, so we presented a renewal letter. We did not hear anything from the tenant, number one. Number two, in the meanwhile, we have investors in our company, and we were asked at year end to evaluate properties that need to be sold. And given that there was no renewal accepted here, this was one of the properties identified that should be sold. So given that we did not have agreement on renewal, we did present the tenant, regardless of our bumps, a renewal opportunity. The tenant did not accept it. And we try to push in good faith to continue the tenancy. Given the acceptance of a renewal, our circumstances changed, and we have to dispose and sell of this property. And it is well within our rights under the lease to do so.
Okay. And the other allegation was one where the tenant made obviously complaints of the lack of heat. We did see that Al and I went out to inspect the property. They found violations. Those violations were ultimately found to be in compliance or fixed.
So is it okay if you address the specific heat issue and then take it sub bullet by sub bullet or sub issue?
One, I would like to understand, did you provide any concessions to the tenants for the lack of heat during the time period?
Sir, we went to go look at the heat literally the next day. We sent, I personally went there. I personally went there. Our head of property management went there with me the next day. We met Dante at the property itself. And then this next day, there were two different contractors. The very next day was a Saturday. Two different contractors went there. They fixed the thermostat twice. We bought two thermostats, fixed it twice. And Densley, who's on it, who went there,
I'm sorry,
checked it.
what were the dates when you did this?
Yeah, it was 10/19, October 19. I personally went there circa 3 p.m. Me and our head of property management both went there on October 19th and met then Dante at the property. Dante, is that correct? We met at the property right after your heat complaint on that Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my turn to speak with them on that when you're done.
I was just asking you if you met, but on 10/19. Do you recall that?
Yes, and I reached back out to you at 10:19 to tell you the heat went right back out. And if you have your guys stay longer than 5 minutes, they will have enough time to see it go back out. And you did not want to hear that. Did I state that or did I not state that? Because I have it right here in text message. I can
So
send
for
it
the
to you.
most part, I'm sorry. We're not gonna go back and forth with this. It's fine.
So, sir, yes, then again on October 19, Mr. Densley, which was a Saturday, went there twice. He changed the thermostat 2 times, and he stayed there for long enough to ensure that the
I
heat was.
think Mr. Densley should inform
go
us
ahead.
of what
That-
he did and not you.
No worries. Densley, can you hear us? Can you put yourself off mute?
Yes.
Hey, did you catch the question, or did you catch our what we were talking about?
Yes, about the thermostat. Know that.
Correct. Yeah. Do you mind talking about when you went to the property and what repairs you did and what you noticed and how many times you went there? And just to help you, the date was October 19. I know you don't have your
Well,
text.
the first time I went there, I don't remember the exact date. It was to fix the sink from the bathroom, the two doors when supposedly to repair the doors and change the locks and the handles. So we wasn't prepared because the frame was broken. Like for my experience, when I see a frame broken, that means somebody kicked the doors, so the front and the back. And one time I went there to fix like the dining room wall, and the floors from the
We'll
dining
just stick to
room.
the heating issue at this time. That's really the only things that were here. The other repairs that you may have noticed were not included at the.
No, I remember one time that I replaced the two front room windows. I think it was
Mr.
back
Densley,
in.
Mr.
Yes,
Densley, can you
yes.
address the heating issue? What did you do regarding the
Oh,
heating?
okay. When I went to check the heater, I check all the sensors of the HVAC to make sure everything was working. Uh, the wires to the thermostat, we changed the thermostat, so we stood there to make sure that it goes on and off. So I stood there like for 35, 38 minutes, I think, to make sure everything was working. So I think by 9 time, Mr. Dancer texted me and said that it wasn't working again. And I was there like around maybe 10 a.m. in the morning. And like around 9 o'clock, he texted me that it wasn't working again. That's what I remember. Hello?
Okay.
So
Yes.
after Mr. McCollum texted that that the heat wasn't working again, did you go back to the property, Mr. Dinsley?
I text the landlord and then he sent another person
Okay,
to take a look at it, and they finally fix it and it started working.
landlord, when did you send the second person to look at the heat? After tenant said it wasn't working on the night of 10/19.
Hey,
So
I
we
think I think maybe like on the next date or like Mr. Pewish send them. like 1 day or two,
Okay.
whenever that person was available.
May I share my screen? I wanna,
If it's just to show text messages, that's,
yes, it is.
no. We're just asking for dates. When was the next date you sent out somebody to fix the heat?
10/20.
Okay. Was the
And-
heat totally fixed on 10/20?
Yes, ma'am. The heat was totally fixed on 10/20 and even on 10/19. And I was gonna show a picture of a working heater on 10/19. May I show a picture of a working
Well-
heater on 10/19?
Well, I've
second, I
lost the
couldn't-
tenant, so
I
I need the
couldn't hear him.
tenant to come back.
Sorry, the phone was disconnected.
Okay, so let me make sure I have everyone here still.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the phone was disconnected. It took me out of it.
So I lost, okay, I have everyone here.
I
All
have,
right.
excuse me, I had the text here. Let me see. I think, like, he texted me like around 7:15, October 2022, 22nd. And it says Sunday, October 20. He says, good morning. He came this morning. So far is running. That was Sunday. So 2 days after, this is Mr. So that was a Sunday because I think I went Saturday. And he said, good morning. He came this morning. So far it's running. Like, leave it on to see if it. I'm a little confused with his
That's
text
okay,
right now.
so just, if we could stop for a second, I lost the tenant again. So we
Okay.
just, yeah. I also, yeah, um,
So I would also like to
okay,
bring
no,
that
I need everyone to just
post.
stop for a second. So I see Mr. McCollum is back. Mr. McCollum, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so Mr. McCollum, everyone stop sharing screens without permission too. So, Mr. McCollum, the landlord is saying that on 10/20/2024, the heat was fixed. You said you were without heat for 2 weeks.
Yes, it was going on 2 weeks. I know this stopped working. Here we go. What is these set?
10/18 is the date you reported it. 10/19, someone came out and they looked at the thermostat twice. By the evening, it was out again. You texted them. Landlord said that somebody came out again on 10/20. Did you tell the landlord that the heat wasn't working again after 10/20?
Yes, here you go. October 2022 at 7:04 p.m. I sent a picture to Mr. Pushy, which has me blocked. That's probably why he didn't get it. I sent him one picture. That
Okay,
was at 7:04, 7:06 p.m. at October 22. I sent him the pictures with the flame going in and out. October 23 at 3:16 p.m. Hey, are you aware of the water and heat still? No response. I am blocked.
okay.
October
So-
24th, I'm still telling them about
Mr.
the heat at
McCollum,
7.
okay, we heard the testimony. So just so the record is also clear, we do have an LNI inspection, and as of 10/28, they do cite the
Yeah, yeah.
no.
You're right. You're right. Sorry. I thought you were going to say it's closed. They were cited on 10/28 for no heat. So my question would be if the landlord went out after 10/28, they must have.
The landlord, you said that he come out at the 10:28.
The question's for landlord, not for you.
Oh, all right.
So we actually sent in a person on 26th. Oh, sorry, it was on 27th of this October to check the heating system. So this was a there was a person who went in there, and then we actually have pictures for it whether he worked on the heating system, and it was all fixed. So when the LNI violation was issued, at that point of time was later, after the heating was all corrected. So Dante himself told that the inspector had like on the LNI violation, what was put up, few of the items had already been fixed, and it was I do not and he was also not aware as to why did the inspector put up the same item again. In the LNI violation, the there was an issue about the heating system, which was already fixed. So even Dante can say that, Dante can also confirm that, saying that there on the LNI violation, there was a wrong information that was put up.
No, I
Okay,
can't speak
okay,
for other
okay,
non-perspectives. You can
Mr.
speak.
Okay,
McCollum,
all right,
you're not
no.
testifying at this time. So now the only other question that we have is that you sent a letter to the tenant basically stating that you were ending the lease because you had sold the property. Do you have a statement of settlement that the property has actually been sold?
We did not send that. There's some confusion here.
So the property has not been sold?
No, where are you referring this from? Where did you see? There was a
sent-
letter sent on, there was a letter sent on 12/31 saying the property is going to be listed for sale. That was on
Yes.
12/31/14.
We received from the landlord a settlement statement from you guys.
But that was probably when we bought it.
I see. Okay, so is the property currently being listed for sale?
No, it is not. It has to be prepared to be listed for sale. The brokers would not list the property and be able to take photos until it's vacant.
Okay, so then what is your stance currently on the
Our lease matures on February. The 1-year term of the lease matures in February.
of
And we,
2025?
I can't hear it.
yes,
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Can't hear you.
And so we are giving
Kelly, can
ample
you
notice to tenant to vacate, and we even offered, if you need to be month to month for a month, we will definitely entertain that.
So then you're basically saying that you're not offering the tenants, you're not renewing the lease on a year-to-year basis.
And we will accommodate the tenant if he needs more than 2 months to vacate on a month-to-month basis.
But rather you will allow the lease to roll into a month-to-month.
Only for 1 month. I mean, again, we're trying to, we just don't hear anything back from the tenant. We send them letters. We don't know what the tenant wants to do. We send them a
Okay.
renewal letter
Okay,
in October.
we understand your position,
Yeah.
sir. We understand your
I
position.
don't know how to.
I understand,
how
I
to-
understand, I
No
understand.
problem. Okay.
I believe that for the moment, I would like to have a recess with the other commissioners, just so that we can come back and get us back exactly to see what issues we need to further develop before we make a decision. So for this time, we're gonna be asking folks to join a breakout room. Please don't leave the breakout room. We'll be back with you shortly.
Okay, I think we lost tenant again, which is fine. It's 11:16.
We're just gonna give the parties to a couple of seconds to join the meeting again. Okay, I believe that everyone's back.
Yes, I could hear you. Piyush is here. Nargis, are you
Everyone
here?
can hear me? Okay.
Yes.
So for the landlords, I have a question regarding is there any outstanding rent for the tenants,
No,
or are they paid in full?
they are paid in full.
Okay. All right. So at this time, Fair Housing Commission is ready to give a final order in this matter. Okay. The order will reflects the following. There are no outstanding documentation regarding the CRS, the license, or the Let's Safe certificate. We review the record regarding the no heat period in this property. And for that reason, we will be awarding a 2-week abatement late October in the amount of 40% of the rent for that time period. The exact number will be provided in the order, in the written order. We do not find retaliation in this case. And we find that the notice to vacate that was issued on December 31st, 2024 is valid. Until then, the parties continue to be ruled by their lease. If landlord sends any request to enter the property to make repairs, landlord has to provide the tenant with 24-hour notice. Tenant has to comply upon receiving that 24-hour notice of intent to come in and make repairs or inspect the property. This is the final order, is only appealable to the Court of Common Pleas. Are there any questions?
No, thank you for your time.
Okay, with that, the parties will receive an order in the mail or by email, and the parties are free to go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for.
Okay, commissioners, I'm ending this hearing at this point, and we're going to the